Asato ma Sagamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Saira. We will recapitulate the line from Paramahamsa Yogananda's God as Light and Joy, the crucial line. The entire satsang will be in the background of this line. So what he said, past the stairway to the beach, I stopped and turned on the electric starlights to see if they were working. But I could not see them, for as I stood there, the great light of God suddenly came and made it impossible to distinguish lesser lights. Even the sun I could not see at all. Then he sums up saying, vividly I understood that neither the sunlight nor the electric light is real. Only true light is the light of God. We will keep these lines flagged and see how we reach to this realization as we proceed today in this session. Questions might be asked in between. Honestly, whatever comes from within, you may answer. In the God as Light and Joy session, we learn that the reflected consciousness illumines any sight by transforming raw, unconscious sensory data into subjective, recognizable experience. Talking of experience, can you recall a couple of best or worst experiences you have had in the last 5-10 years? So bad, so best, so worst that you cannot forget that at all. Some of them could be, talking of worst experience, most loved one leaving you from the family or from friends or anywhere. any relationship suddenly falling apart, losing prized possessions, power, your own people ditching you for selfish reasons, very poor health, losing a job suddenly, losing your reputation, your goodwill, your respect, the third zero in the three zeros which we learned. You may take a minute and then share, if you would like to share. He will wait for a couple of minutes and then he will proceed. Some of the, just one worst experience you have had in the past few years. Haunting worst experience. He will just wait for a minute or so in case you would like to share, without of course naming the location, naming the person, etc. Guess only 2 of you are attending, so not compulsory though, he will give a minute.
Worst experience.
In case you would like to share, you can switch on your audio and share.
Nothing, Guruji, so far. Nothing to share, Guruji.
Blessed. So blessed. How about Indu?
Same with me, Guruji. Nothing I'm able to immediately recall. Worst experience so far, nothing is there.
Good. Very good. Blessed. So, we learned in the Goddess Light and Joy session that once we see an object, it could be extended to hearing an object or smelling something, touching something, anything. When we see an object, we learned that through a process, how it comes to our eyes, and through a process, how it goes to our brain, and then in the brain, how it gets figured out as unconscious fact. This much we learned in that session. So the eyes can be extended to all our senses. So there we learned that till the time it is figured out by the brain, it remains as an unconscious experience. Unconscious fact, not even experience. Then how it turns out to be a subjective experience, conscious experience, there consciousness comes. Reflected consciousness illumines whatever has been figured by the brain, remaining as an unconscious fact. To understand this, let us imagine we are in a dark room. We cannot see anything. We switch on a light. Then we see an object. Till this juncture, we have just witnessed that object, nothing further. It is like a person going on the streets, he is observing something happening on the street or on the road. Observing, witnessing, only to that extent. The brain functions to that extent. Most intelligent brain also functions to that extent. Up to this witnessing stage, it is pure reflected consciousness for our understanding's sake. This may not be available in textbooks, but for our understanding clearly and for further contemplation, the consciousness illumining has been given in two parts. At the first part, consciousness illumines to the extent that the unconscious fact in the brain, we are now able to observe or witness consciously. To this level, it is pure. Just witnessing doesn't result in experience. We are just witnessing or observing. We call consciousness as witness consciousness. No? That becomes clear up to this level. Now, how do we experience subjectively or consciously? How do we experience what we have witnessed or observed? Here, your ego comes to play. Your vasanas, past impressions about that object, that happening, that event, that person, everything comes to the forefront. So reflected consciousness never gets contaminated, but reflected consciousness gets veiled or colored by our ego and kleshas. And with this coloring, with this superimposition of your ego upon the reflected consciousness, whatever you have witnessed has now turned into experience. You feel the pain, you feel the happiness. More often pain. So it is like dark room, light on, seen the object, nothing happened. You went and touched or played with the object. You are getting some experience. This playing is the playing of ego. Don't try to search in any book. You will not get this from any book. Guarantee. This is all coming out from the source. You remember the Buddha's two arrows? Wherein Master taught the first arrow is what the world gives you, what is coming to you as a part of your karma. You cannot avoid it. With your super intelligence also, super prayer also, you cannot avoid prarabdha karma. Buddha said the second arrow is what that matters the most. The second arrow is how you perceive whatever is coming to you as your karma. The first arrow is consciousness witnessing. The second arrow is your ego veiling or superimposing the consciousness and giving you the experience. Remember one thing, whatever is experience, if you can experience something, it is not consciousness. If you can perceive something, it is not conscious. It is not pure awareness. It is ignorance that makes us believe whatever is experienced as real. Perceived can never be the perceiver. Experienced can never be the experiencer. At the self level, at the Atman level. Suppose we exist as swan for a day. He comes floating in the Sai Kulwant hall. He sees us. Of course, he knows about our past, present, and future. But he just witnesses. He doesn't experience what all we are going through. He knows, he is aware, but he is not experiencing. He is witnessing it, and he is blessing us, smiling at us. Abhaya Hasta, Vibhuti created, Pada Namaskara, gives us all the happiness in the world, joy, supreme joy of self in the world, and goes. Anything happening to us, can we give a day? Meditate and come validate with today's learning. Am I just being aware of whatever is worst thing? Some of the worst thing, possible things he had outlined in the beginning. Am I just being aware? Am I just witnessing whatever has happened to me, or my ego mixed with my vasanas is changing whatever has been witnessed to experience. If you meditate and then validate with this, 90% of the times the pain or happiness out of that event or person or whatever may not be there at all. But of course it needs tremendous strength. Only possible through absolute surrender to God till the time you realize self and abide in self forever. So what do we learn after going through the two parts, witnessing and experiencing? What will come to us figured by our brain is not in our hands. First arrow as given by Buddha. But to remain as just as witness to what comes to us, or experiencing what comes to us as a conscious subjective experience colored by our vasanas and kleshas, this option is 100% available to us as Sai devotees and being in sadhana for several years. Both of you have told you have not had any worst experience at all. If at all anyone had any worst experience, say you were deceived by someone you trusted the most. Imagine if you had just witnessed without taking that harsh reality with your ego. Assert daily morning. Anything coming to me, I will witness. If it is too overwhelming for me, I will be silent. Though disturbance will be going on in my mind, I will give it 2 days. I will contemplate on today's learning. And then third day, I will see what is the degree to which it is affecting to us. So, can we validate what Yogananda said with his learning? Part A. Light of God which Yogananda referred is consciousness. Any other light which he said is the light of our ego, further fetching us experience of what consciousness illumined as pure awareness. I exist, Yogananda's assertion, if we have to assert to ourselves, I exist as light of consciousness, allowing my BMI to witness or allowing me to be aware of whatever comes to me. Existing thus as light of consciousness, I cannot see any other light. That is, I cannot see the after effects of any of my ego, of my senses, vasanas, lighting up anything as an experience. Only light as consciousness exists, and that is me. We can continue for 5 more minutes before breaking. Time is there.
Yes,
Right?
yes, Guruji, time is there. Yes.
Okay. Now we are going to the will of God, the latest session. Not a leaf moves without the will of God. In that, the second part was, I did not will, but God willed for me to experience what I never wanted to experience, what I never wanted to get. Again, as you have told that you have not had any such experience, otherwise he wanted to give some time for you to recall. Let us imaginatively think that all the three of us, we have faced a situation where we wanted to hold on to a relationship, but God willed it otherwise, and that person just walked away from our lives one day. Why God willed that way? Why someone whom we trusted so much, who meant everything to us in this world, walked away one day? Why this had to happen to us? Also, maybe. Okay. So, God wants us to derive joy within ourselves, not from any other relationship. So he pulled away that person. God wants to make us realize the true joy of keeping only and only Sai as our true companion. If at all we have not merged with him, still the duality is existing and we need a true companion. then only Sai can be a companion, fulfilling, qualifying the definition of friendship given by Swami, which contained in essence, may not be same words, but in essence, he defined friendship as a relationship which is selfless, pure, desireless, without ego, one who is always there. Nobody in the world, not even spouse, not even children, nobody can qualify this except Swami. Till the time that duality exists between us and Swami. After we have merged, all these things become irrelevant. Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, disciple, master, everything become irrelevant after we have merged. Like Sukha leaves in the Bhagavatam at the last stage, like Ashtavakra leaves in the last chapter, the Guru leaves. Now we are not talking about that ultimate state. If at all we seek a true companion in our life, seek Sai. Don't settle for anything less than Swami. Because all others will fail in one or other descriptions of a true friend given by Swami. So God wants us to realize that it is futile to expect total, pure, selfless, never-changing, egoless relationship from any human being in this earth. Did Swami not teach us love is selflessness and self is lovelessness? Simple statement of Swami. It may look so simple. It contains everything as regards any relationship in this world, from our birth till death. Every relationship is such. No one can love us till the end without expecting anything physical, emotional, psychological, intellectual, anything. Someone comes to us with full force and intensity because they may be hurt deeply due to something, and they find solace in our companionship. Temporary phenomenon. Once they are settled, because time is the best healer of all wounds. People die in our own family. We hardly think about them after 10 years. In the first week, it will seem that we cannot live, we cannot breathe, we will suffocate to death. After 10 years, nobody remembers. Time is the best healer. So, when they are healed, that hurt feeling is not there, they will leave us because they don't need us anymore. They have found the solace within themselves. And here we will be, or that person will be thinking that this relationship will remain forever. And he or she will give everything to that relationship. That is how too much of attachment in this worldly level, somebody leaves, this depression, suicide, all these things are happening without understanding in depth that without except God, nobody can be a true friend at all. You love, with this understanding, you shower your love to everybody, including your family members. Unlimited love you shower. Don't expect anything else. Don't make love a barter system of give and take. His own example of one example of God not willing what he willed. from 2001 to 2021, especially 2007 to 15. And then for a short stint again from 2022, 23 to 24, he willed to give teaching bhajans, teach Satsang talks, and whatever Swami had given, he wanted to give to a spiritual center. God also willed. It clicked. 2024, towards the end, Swami did not will. So everything got cut off completely. It took a while to understand. But now when he is able to understand the agenda of Swami behind cutting him off from all those things, when he is able to understand where Swami wanted to take him further in this world, only gratitude remains. We may not understand why Swami is not willing what we are willing, why it is going ulta. Swami's grand plan, it takes some time for us to. At appropriate time, when we are matured enough to understand, grasp, Swami reveals his divine plan to us. Not only this, from his childhood till yesterday, till today morning, not that he has now got anything to will at all. After having completely surrendered to Swami, he is able to understand clearly the inner reasons why Swami did not will what he willed with his mind, and what larger picture, what grand plans Swami had. And it is true for all of us. You may not have had worst experience, appreciated, but definitely not one or two, many instances, many incidents would have happened in your life where you willed something and it did not go your way. Swami willed entirely ulta. With a composed, peaceful mind, with surrender to Swami, after going through the surrender poem of Swami, and after listening to this talk once or twice and imbibing, absorbing the essence of this Satsang talk, if you sit and start noting, seeing Swami's eye to eye, and then start thinking what Swami planned for you, why he did not will what you willed at that point of time, what Swami did ultimately, what was his larger plan, you will be able to note down with a very, very pure heart, surrendered heart. You will be able to note down 1, 2, 3 points. Why, what Swami planned for you, why he did not will what you willed at that time. This definitely would have happened to anybody who is born on earth till the time you realize. Don't question Swami. Swami, just surrender, even in worst situation in your life. He will give immense strength to face that situation, even if he may not will to change that situation. And surrendering the surrenderer, as he says, if your surrender is so total, He can even change your karma. And He has changed the karmas of so many miracles we have heard about saving people from death and making the people get up after they have died. Also. That part you should not even think and pray to Swami, because if you are praying that something He should do to change your karma, then you have not surrendered. And if you are not surrendered totally, no way He is going to change your karma. All that you have got to do is to surrender. 200 upon 100%. Full surrender. Each breath from now onwards, it should be in the spirit of surrender to Swami. Complete surrender to Swami. Which is possible for every Sai devotee if we have faith in Swami and if we really value whatever we have learned today, which someone from the source and from someone from his practical experiences is sharing for the benefit of all of you. All unknown seekers for years and centuries, decades to come, if not centuries. We say, I am in worst state of mind and I cannot think of God. God can only say to himself, my child, you are suffering due to your karma. Only when you think of me, only when you come to my feet, I can give you strength how to smile and undergo your karma. Whereas you are saying, due to your suffering, you are not able to think of me. What can I do? As Amritanandamai wrote in a book, God's love will never suffocate. He will not interfere in your thing. He is there waiting for you to walk up to Him with surrender to hug you. He will not force Himself upon. Like a guru should never force upon anyone. God never forces His love upon anyone. So, summing up, going back to the same Yogananda's words, I cannot see any other light except the light of God's love. What does this mean in this path of bhakti, path of love, path of surrender? I exist verily. There we said I exist as consciousness. Here we say I exist as love. That love which is God, because Swami has told love is God, living love. Existing thus as light of God's love. Paramahamsa used these words, light of God, light of God's love. There it was light of God's consciousness. Here, light of God's love. I am not affected by any other event, any other happening, lit up by my senses, my mind, my ego. The second level lighting. Of course, that lighting also requires the reflected consciousness to illumine, but that reflected consciousness has been being used in a perverted way by your ego. It is not responsible. If somebody misuses the sunlight or moonlight to rob or to kill or to do anything, it is not the mistake of sunlight. With whatever learned today, if you sit peacefully and make the list, if you have not made it before, all those instances where God's will did not match with your will, and whatever you willed, exactly opposite thing, worst thing happened in your life. With today's learning and the two stories given in the last talk, not a leaf moves without. Both stories have immense values. Then You yourself will be able to write down all possible reasons why God did not will what you built. And ultimately, it was for your evolvement. Even if it takes away all our kith and kin, everybody whom we know from our childhood till now in this world, if it takes away everybody from our life, then also his purpose perhaps is for us to think and think and think only of him, to immerse and immerse and immerse only in his love, to merge only in him. And how that merger will be realized when we exist as that same God is love, that when we exist as love 24/7, we walk as love, then we have merged with him. That is the benchmark. Nobody can say we have merged with God. Are you existing as love in the worst situation also, and in the best situation also, luring situation also? You are not going by what the world of senses is offering you. You are not immersed in love, but you are love. Then you know. And when you have merged, you will never say, I have merged. You will be silent. There is no need. Why to validate? Whom to tell that you have merged? God knows, you know, finished. Khatam. Why can't we leave the results of anything and everything in our life to Swami and just be at his feet happily? Happily participate in this drama of life directed by Swami. Whatever role he is giving to us, just without any doership, happily play that role, because that role is also assigned by Swami to us. We are not doing anything. Watch things unfolding in front of us in this divine drama of life, where he is the divine director and we are the chosen actors. And live happily. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, like a child in mother's lap. So secured, it will not have any insecurity in the world, seated in mother's lap. Life can be lived with such joy, such happiness. Since you have the editing option, so from now onwards, you can edit while uploading the top. And now you can switch on your audio video and share whatever you have learned and whatever you have. Sada Nirantara Hari Gun Gao, we sing now. With whatever sadhana we are doing, one thing, from dawn to dusk, always remember Swami. Always remember Swami. Take him, hold his hand while preparing food. Wahan se leke, for everything, hold his hand. Keep him as your soul, true companion, and
If Swami is with you, you are holding his hand, you cannot do anything wrong. Okay, this is the simplest sadhana which any Sai devotee should, and any Sai devotee with willpower can implement. Okay, it doesn't require sharp intellect. Just hold his hand and feel him from the morning till night. Okay, through the Vedanta sessions, through formless, everything, side by side, hold his hand and then be with him forever. So that in that automatically surrender will be happening without even you are thinking that you are surrendering. Chariya?
Sure, Guruji.
Okay. After it is uploaded, listen again, both of you.
Sure.
Now I think what we can do is that we need not even send these links and all these things. I think we can hold a satsang like this amongst three of us and then filter the last part and upload quietly. I don't think anybody else is interested. We can continue Zoom sessions, impromptu Zoom sessions, and then we can upload. I think we can do like that. Leah.